let's imagine, this only came to me recently. I just want to share with you my thoughts about it and how I felt it. So you can imagine, okay, what is a pendulum, right? So it's anything that sucks your energy. You can think of it as a black hole that is, like sucking people into it. Or you can imagine it as COVID, you know, just like a structure that sucks energy from people, connects to people. You can think about it any way you want. So basically, pendulum is something that sucks your energy, takes your attention. Whether it's bad news you heard, whether it's if you go to the gym, you have a pendulum of a gym. You behave in a certain way. You only train there. You can't go to the gym and just, begin and open your Chinese, like your noodles, and cook your noodles like in the gym, and cook and dance. So a pendulum is an informational structure. It can be anything, guys. Anything, really. Anything you are being apprehensive of, anything you are hating, anything you love, can be described as a pendulum. Can be a person, can be an information structure, it can be an addiction. So something that takes your energy. So, you know, either in a good way, like for example, you advocate for, I don't know, whether you advocate for, let's say, I don't know, there are, let me think, guys. Whether you are a politician, right? You are pro someone, so you advocate. And on the other side, we have people who hate that politician. And so you guys are constantly, like, it doesn't matter what spectrum of the what side you are. The most important thing is that you give it your energy. And, let's say, for example, whether it's, for example, maybe your money is being taken from you. Like, for example, you get bills out of nowhere. You get billed, you pay your last money for things you didn't expect, right? That's a pendulum attacking you. If you scroll social media and you see some bad news or hear some bad news, that's a pendulum trying to get you, right? Trying to throw its hook on you. And what I want to tell you is, so for example, pendulums exist. They try to catch and fish people, right? Like, for example, if you have some phobia, or if you have some fear, or if you have some negative thoughts that are coming into your head, and you give those thoughts. So, for example, imagine you are, okay, this is your lifeline. You move through it. Let's imagine this dark space, quantum field, or the alternative space. So this is your lifeline, okay? And some pendulum throws its hook. And information you see, maybe money pendulum. It's a positive pendulum, right? But let's say scarcity pendulum, right? Throws its hook onto you, and you get a bill, you get some unexpected stuff. Or maybe you feel hatred, or maybe you fear something, or maybe you are apprehensive of something. Doesn't matter, guys. It's all a pendulum. So if you get hooked and feed it your energy, let's say, let's take a blue color, your energy, right? So if you feed it your energy, the pendulum will be sucking you until it throws you. So you will not get out of the pendulum unless you are totally valueless, until you're totally like until you have nothing to give to the pendulum. So for example, let's think about drug addicts, right? It's a pendulum. They get hooked. They, all around this time that the pendulum takes their energy, they feel high, they feel good. And then once they're done with, the pendulum just goes away, right? It could be a bad friendship. Your friends use you, take your energy. It gets even like to the better, or like, if it's a good pendulum and you consciously choose to participate in it, like your religion, or like, for example, your beliefs, um, mindset, that's all a pendulum. They feed you energy. If that's to your benefit, then fine. There are some good pendulums. It's a um, benevolent, or I forgot the word. But there are some destructive pendulums, right? Fear pendulums, anger pendulums. I think you're familiar with the spectrum of energy, like the purple, like positivity, the red one, like it's guilt, fear, anxiety. So there are pendulums in all spectrums of emotion. And so let's say those pendulums, like for example, you get hooked into the fear, right? So you fear something might happen. Or let's say you get billed. For example, you get an IRS mail that you need to pay some taxes that you already paid, or whatever. If you react in a bad way, doesn't matter. If you react in a bad way, you are hooked. Like I said, good or bad way, you are hooked. And so this pendulum is going to send you more bills, more bills. It will be sending more stuff. If you react in a negative way, you will receive bills in abundance. It will hook onto your energy until it sucks every bit of you, until you have no more left, and until you don't give a shit about it. It will not leave you. The time that you stop caring about it, and when you reach when you reach the pedestal, when you reach the peak, it leaves you because you are useless to the pendulum. There is nothing to suck from you. The same goes with the friendship. Bad friendship. People use some people, take their energy, and then until they are done with, they leave them. So why give it energy in the first place if you know that at the end it will only leave you when it sucks your energy? So for example, if you get an unexpected bill, don't react negatively. Don't react negatively. Just trust the process. Just maybe say that everything goes as like they say, be grateful, say thanks God, everything goes as it should, everything goes and unfolds as it should, life is wonderful. If you don't let these pendulums or these hooks affect you, then they will leave you alone. You will not be bombarded and cascaded with a heavy load of things that you are trying to get away and or fight. So it all comes down to just really believing that pendulums exist as forms or entities. Sorry, this is a lifeline. So, it all comes down to believing that, some pendulums exist. Like I said, you have, feel free to imagine them however you want, like a dark hole, black hole, like a virus, whatever you like it. If you really believe that, like if you can really imagine yourself in a black space and you see like there are different pendulums and you are, let's say, riding the wave of fortune, right? You are on a wave of fortune, on a golden wave. Sometimes you shift to a lifeline that is better than your current lifeline. And when you shift, you may face some pendulums on your way, but if you remain detached, if you don't cling or react, and if you know that that's part of the process, sometimes, maybe, not always, but sometimes, when your lifeline gets to a different degree, when you imagine, when you work on your quantum field, that the alternative space, when you work on your imagination, if you move to another lifeline, like I said, you may pass some pendulums, or you may pass some spaces or places. But if you remain detached and you believe and trust the process, you know that this change or this situation is part of the process, part of making you who you are, part of you becoming the version of you that you are meant to be. You will not react, and you will remain in peace. You will remain on your way, riding the wave of fortune, right? Basically, being happy or being positive about like whatever comes your way. So I knew this concept, but I did not think about it in a literal sense. Now that it dawned on me, I began to understand that really it really comes down to believing and really knowing that there are pendulums in the alternative space. Sometimes when you get in a relationship, all of a sudden you become demanding, right? I think everyone knows that, everyone experienced that. When you get in a relationship, people seek you, people text you out of nowhere, get these flirtatious glances. You get these people interested in you. Why? You notice that when you are not in a relationship, nobody cares, right? Nobody People could care less. But when you get in a relationship, or when you have, at least when you work your way through imagination, you begin to notice and see stuff coming up in your life. You begin to see how people appear from places you never thought of. You begin to get attention you never got, right? And so when you see these things happen, you understand that there are some pendulums. There is a field beyond this space, this physical space. And so these intrusive thoughts, or when people say how to tame your thoughts, these intrusive thoughts can be cured by just recognizing and believing that the pendulum is real. It's sending hooks onto you. You get these thoughts because they send these hooks onto you. And so by acknowledging that and realizing that, you remain detached. You can remain detached. You can think of it like, okay, I will stay detached. That's a pendulum throwing its hook, trying to get my energy and feed onto me. And if I give it my energy, it will appear in abundance. So no, you just choose to think of something else. You just completely ignore, right? You don't approach it with love or with hate. You just could care less. You just acknowledge it, see it, and pass by. And this is the best way, in my opinion, to tame your intrusive negative thoughts. Some thoughts are there of a habit. Some thoughts became a habit because your lifeline used to be in the red area, where a lot of, maybe negative stuff, a lot of negative pendulums were hooking or attacking or trying to sing. And so you're used to it sometimes, right? But nonetheless, if you are conscious of changing your life, and if you move into different areas, and you remember that pendulums are real, I call them devils. You can call them devils if you want. Um, if you look at it, you know, these intrusive thoughts, those, those energy signals, those are the pendulums in other ways. Like, that's my opinion, guys. Maybe, like, that's my humble opinion. And that's my humble opinion, guys. And I'm just sharing with you what I think regarding the devil. So you can call it a devil, you can call it a pendulum, if it's destructive. However, if you got the concept, I hope you got it, guys. Please leave in the comments below what you think about this. If you understood everything, if you want me to cover more stuff, if you want me to cover uh, additional information, more information. Um, so thank you so much for today. And by the way, guys, I created a community group where you can join and we can have a weekly sessions. So for the first 5 people to join, I promise you, I will host a completely free weekly sessions to discuss your progress, to see where you are, maybe to answer some of your questions, and to basically, share experiences to see if we can, if we all can learn from each other along this journey. So I'm on a quest to surround myself with like-minded people and hold you accountable, guys. So if you like this, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and if you made it to the end of the video, you are the realest. You are the realest of the real. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you next time.